right. Back at it again for our April edition of Horsemen Academy. Actually, this won't quite be April. You'll see this at the end of March, but count it as our first April edition of Horsemen Academy. You got your boy LP here. Apologies that I had to miss the last full episode. I was with the family. My daughters were doing Easter pictures. They came out terrible, but we did them anyway. We did them. So you can't say that I didn't show up for the two girls who wanted to take pictures with the Easter bunny, but didn't want to act right. We did it. So, but today we've got a conversation I've been wanting to have for a while. I think I initially reached out maybe about 6 months ago. Obviously, I'm the worst when it comes to scheduling. That's why I need some help. Someone help me. I need help. But we do have Talisha with us today. Now, I'm not going to give her full credits. We're going to go to her in 1 second. I'm going to let her introduce the variety of things that she does. I can't do them all justice, but I know what y'all really want to talk about today. One of these topics y'all really gonna want to talk about. We got to get to know her first. So Talisha, please introduce yourself to the audience.
Well, hey everybody. Yeah, 6 months. 6 months.
It's
Let's
been
just
about
talk
6
about
months.
that. Let's
yeah,
talk.
It's on me though. You know,
Yeah.
I'm an old man. I got a bad memory. You know, sometimes you have to remind me of things, but it ain't all my fault though. Too. You almost forgot us today.
Okay.
You almost forgot us today. You know what I'm saying?
Charge to my head and not my heart. Not my heart, please. It's never intentional. So I'm Talisha. I am a event curator, mostly known for the Talisha and High Frequency. I own a sex education business. So what we do is we cultivate sexual intelligence, and it's called Cliterate, which is mostly what we're going to talk about today. So I'm pretty excited about that.
Yeah.
I also own a business with my best friend called Healing Girl Season. So my best friend and I curated a space for Black and brown women to be able to come in and actually work on, you know, as a group, building this community in this village that we really lack in today's time, and being able to heal from our childhood traumas together, because what we don't realize is our childhood traumas affect us now so much more, whether it comes to relationships, friendships, family, children, you know, all those things come into play stemming from our childhood traumas, whether good or bad, you know. So we built that space together to curate that for our Black and brown women. And then with Cliterate, that's what I used to do the Naughty List Exchange, which has now evolved into High Frequency. And High Frequency is a space where it is curated to be open for people to come in and learn. To not only learn, but to have fun. A lot of times when it comes around, sex is this huge taboo, and people are very uncomfortable, even though everybody's doing it. Right?
Well, we wouldn't exist if it wasn't sex.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So,
like
someone's having sex.
Exactly. Somebody.
Yeah,
somebody somewhere.
It may not be y'all behind the camera.
Yeah.
But y'all know my nickname is Nasty Nate for a reason. But go ahead. Go ahead.
Nasty Nate.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So High Frequency with that. It's just a space created for all ventures of people to come in and learn. You know, whether you're just wanting to just check stuff out, whether you're inexperienced in the kink or you have fetishes and you know this and you're well versed in the space, it's a space where you can come in and you can teach people if you'd like to. Okay. You know, we have live performances and demonstrations. I have a lot of sponsors. So sponsored by Slapwoods of Val, Texas. I have a partnership with, we now have a partnership with Clona Willie.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, congratulations.
Thank you. And then we have a partnership with Be Busy. So there's tons of amazing things that happen at High Frequency. So I also am a consultant for Solutions Management Group is another business that I have started.
Okay.
Where I basically help individuals, especially our Black and brown individuals, become legal businesses.
Yeah. Because a lot of us just walking around with hustles that have not officially became a business.
Yeah.
So I would agree with that. So this is exciting. There's a lot to get into, but before we jump into any of that, we got to get to know you some. All right. So I think we started the conversation before we got on camera.
Yeah.
You're not originally a Houstonian. Okay, so where are you at again?
I'm from Daytona Beach, Florida.
And I was saying I've never personally met someone who's from Daytona.
Yeah.
Because the surrounding areas are so much bigger. Because you've got Tallahassee near, Jacksonville near, and then Georgia basically near.
Yeah.
So from Daytona to Houston, what give us some idea. What's the difference between those two?
Shoot, it's like night and day, honestly. I mean, Daytona Beach is a small city, you know, small town. Everybody knows everybody. Everybody talks to everybody. Compared to Houston, it's coming to a huge city. I mean, I didn't even know what gangs were until I moved here.
Oh,
you know,
wow.
Like, you know, I was in high school and I'm like, what are they doing with their hands? Like, I thought it was the stupidest shit ever. I'm like, oh, can I cuss on here?
You can.
Okay.
Fuck. Go ahead.
Okay.
You good.
So it was kind of like, you know, a culture shock in a way because I did grow up in Daytona. Our black schools didn't have gifted and talented, so I grew up all white schools until I got to high school.
Okay.
So I grew up, you know, completely different than what I came here, you know, witnessing, and I'm like, oh shit, this is a lot different than, you know. So, but I love the city. You know, it was a learning process. You know, I love the city. The city life is for me. The only thing I could definitely say that I miss would be the beach.
Yeah, see, we're not quite landlocked.
No.
But the people don't understand Galveston is not a beach.
It's not it.
I think Galveston is more of a hazard than it is a beach. I promise you, you might grow a third foot if you stay in that water
third
too long.
nipple.
Yeah, it's you know, that's what they do in Cliterate. You know, they probably, you know, I'm worried about feet. She talked about nipples. So you already see where this is going. But no, so move to Houston.
Yeah.
You know, in this space. What side of town again you from?
Man, why we gotta talk
because
about
we got to. What side of town? What side of town?
From the north side.
Okay, so she from the north. Y'all know how we feel about the north side. Nah, all jokes aside. High school here.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of things were you into maybe growing up? Because I'm trying to lead to how we got to the space you're in now.
Yeah.
What kind of things were you into growing up?
Reading.
Okay.
I read a lot.
You was reading Eric Jerome Dickey.
Oh,
come on. Who let you do that?
Okay, so
who let you do that?
It's more so like
you was reading Zane.
Okay.
Who let you go?
Let me tell you. So my family, my grandmothers are all readers.
Okay.
So my mom's mom is a reader. My stepfather's mom is a reader. And his aunt's a reader.
Okay.
So it you know, I love to read fantasy. So my thing is Harry Potter.
Okay.
If you know me, you know me.
What house?
I'm Ravenclaw.
Really?
Ravenclaw. I have a full tattooed Harry Potter sleeve.
What would you be, producer? I'm not going to say who you are. You may not want to be a part of this conversation. But what house would you be? Oh, he don't know. Oh, that's sad. Man, that's really crazy.
What about you? You know yours?
I would probably be Ravenclaw also.
Ravenclaw? Yeah, that's my shit. So
I can't. So you got a full tattoo?
Full sleeve. My entire sleeve is Harry Potter.
All the houses, or
it's
of
all
what?
different kind of things. I have Harry, I have Hedwig, I have the Deathly Hallows.
You got everything.
Hagrid, the flying car, all of the above.
Okay. That might be our first full Harry Potter sleeve on the pod.
Yeah.
We've had people with one of our potters. He's got what's that? Dragon Ball Z. He got full Dragon Ball sleeve on his leg. I know, right? That's sad.
Yeah.
We got someone else who's into like wrestling. They got like so it's interesting what people decide to get tatted.
Yeah.
On. Okay.
So I've been reading Harry Potter was a big
and
thing.
That's fantasy.
Yeah.
That
and I've been reading
fantasy.
that since 5th grade. I mean, the book came out when I was in 5th grade. We were broke as hell, so I begged my mom for the book. She said no, so I stole my first book from the book fair.
Oh, come on. You still in elementary?
I was. Hey, it was a book. It was a book. We didn't.
It's still stealing.
I mean, Lord forgive me for it.
We should arrest you now.
You're going to jail for stealing a Sorcerer's Stone.
You are. Yeah, you definitely are. Okay, so reading. So clearly, to me, that sounds like you've got an active imagination, an active sense of adventure, probably even also. Okay, because the people that I know that tend to gravitate towards books versus TV, they're using more capacity in their mind of creating scenarios versus seeing it passively on TV.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay. So, reader, any sports, any athletics, anything like that?
Nah, I didn't do. I mean, I played a little soccer growing up, but I was more so in the house reading. I'm low key a nerd.
No, well, that's not a. Why would you? I am a nerd. I am a self-proclaimed square. Like there's no problem with that.
Yeah.
Why would you lower your? You know, see, that's what's happened to us in our community. We diminish. Being smart.
Yeah.
And I don't know why.
I just prefer. Sometimes just people like to jump to conclusions.
What conclusion would they jump to? Give me an example.
Look what I do.
That don't matter though.
It don't matter. It doesn't matter because I don't care about anything.
Yeah, like that. Like,
however,
sometimes people need to focus on themselves more than others.
It's easier to focus on somebody else and pinpoint their issues or what you might want to talk about than yourself. So you can give yourself that gratification. People like to feel better than people.
Yeah, which is crazy to me.
You know, more powerful or more at a higher rank than somebody else. So
yeah, and if they do it on the count of someone being smart, that's really crazy to me.
Yeah. I tell my kids all the time, it's cool to be weird.
It is.
I'm probably one of the weirdest people you and me.
Actually, you probably prefer to be weird.
Yeah.
Because too many of us are doing the same thing.
I call them cookie cutters.
Yeah, we're doing the same thing.
Everybody looks alike. Everybody's doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Everybody's talking the same way. It's
no doubt.
Crazy.
Okay. All right. So Houston, reader. When did you get this entrepreneur spirit? Because it sounds like you're comfortable with sticking to things. When did that kind of kick in for you?
I feel like I've always been somewhat of a hustler.
Okay.
You know, I've been working since I could work. 15, I started my first job in Florida when I was back at home, working in Winn-Dixie pushing baskets.
Okay.
You know, so I've always been. We didn't have growing up. You know, we didn't have much. Now my parents, they're way better off now. So my sisters got amazing, you know. But when I was growing up, you know, it wasn't like that.
Yeah.
So, you know, I had to earn my own way. Like I wanted other stuff I wanted, we couldn't afford it, so I worked for it. So it's always been second nature, like first nature really to me, for me to work. Like I'm always working, I'm always doing something. So, you know, when it came down to it, it only felt right. It only feels right because I don't want to work for somebody the rest of my life. You know, I don't like rules. I like bending rules. I'm gonna find the loop type of gal.
So that's why you were stealing. That's why so now I see why you were stealing books. You was like, look, I'm gonna get it whether you gonna give it to me or not.
You know.
Can we make sure we lock up all the equipment before we leave here? You know what I'm saying?
I do need a mic.
You know, yeah. I mean, we need to make sure that we got the lock on the door. No, I'm just playing. So, okay, so let's talk about not liking rules. Maybe, and maybe I'll reframe it some. Kind of charting your own path, like you deciding where I want to go in my life. Now that's a difficult place to get to. You're a younger woman. When did you determine that I'm going to do me? Because that's really the decision you got to make and be comfortable with people judging you.
Yeah.
When did you make that decision?
I think I made that decision when my ex-husband and I separated.
Okay. So married. How long were you married?
We were married for I don't know.
A guess.
We were married for like 5 years.
Okay.
But we were together since I was 15.
Okay, so you had been in a long-term relationship, long-term relationship that became marriage that ended. Were in that process that you maybe discover something about yourself before or after the dissolve of the marriage?
I would definitely say, so, you know, being that we were so young when we started dating, I feel like throughout life we did explore a lot sexually. You know, we were young.
Of course.
So I think that in a way, there were a lot of things that were hindered in my relationship with me. But one thing that wasn't hindered is me being able to express myself sexually.
Okay.
So I feel like, you know, we explored a lot more, you know, especially like once we started getting a little bit older and we got married and stuff, we started exploring a little bit deeper into, you know, certain kinks and things like that, and just exploring different spaces and going to spaces and looking at spaces and just checking things out because, you know, what was intriguing to do, you know, wanted to keep the spice and everything like that. So that kind of opened up the avenue to me being aware of said spaces, but I wasn't really enjoying those said spaces.
Interesting. Okay, so you were curious, it sounds like, and we'll use kink as a broad term, but would you recommend a different term? Because I want to make sure that I'm saying the appropriate things while we're educating maybe an audience who, at least Black and brown people, we're not always so open with these type of conversations, one. And two, we may not always have the right vernacular.
Right.
So is it lifestyle? Is it kink? What language should we use as we start this part of the conversation?
So with it, it really depends on what the person is experiencing or dealing with in that space. So, I mean, anything outside of vanilla. So it's lifestyle, technically. So you can say my lifestyle. Anything outside of vanilla sex, so regular missionary, what you consider vanilla to
Okay.
you. It could range from different people, but it's just, standard sex, which sex to be,
Yeah.
right? So anything outside of that is considered, something outside into a kink or somewhere.
So if we're not having sex to procreate, we doing something wild. we are living a different life.
You're not having vanilla sex. It just depends on what exactly you're doing.
Okay. So
you know what I'm saying? So
it's the action, not what happened.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I got it. Okay. So you maybe were curious. Why weren't you enjoying the spaces then?
For one, I think that a lot of people come into this space, step into those spaces, and don't really have the proper education on consent. People don't have the proper education on respect.
Okay. Give us an example of what maybe consent and respect would look like in a space.
Okay. So definitely in a space. So if you're in a space that is open to whatever could be, right? So you're in a space where it's people here and we all, at some point, we're hanging out, we're drinking, we're dancing on the dance floor, we're at a table hanging out, talking, conversating. The thing is, it's all about asking, can you actually deal with this person or do something to this person?
Okay.
And a lot of times I know that in those lifestyles, in those places, there's a lot of single men there, and they do charge single men and more to get into lifestyle spaces for a certain particular reason, because sometimes the single men can be very, very aggressive. And then they're more so, there's people that'll follow you around everywhere you go. There's people that'll, try to grab you, and you're not supposed to touch anybody in that space without their permission. You're not supposed to. And then it comes down to when you're engaging and you're a couple and you're attracted to another couple, you don't, as women, or if it's a single woman coming to you as a couple, you don't approach the man as a woman. It's kind of like you go to your gender, who you belong to. So if you're a woman and you want to approach this couple, you would come to the woman and you would check with the woman and you would connect with the woman and try to talk to her and have conversation. To me, I feel like in lifestyle places, yes, a lot of times it's about sex, but to me, the reason that I'm still so interested and so dedicated to promoting education and sexual intelligence is because it's more so about the intimacy and the transparency and the connection. And a lot of things people lack that, because you see sex and then people get this tunnel vision on just that physical aspect of it.
Most people, and I'm gonna pick on men. Most men, our goal is to get to the sex act, not considering all of the other
factors.
Yeah.
Which, if you did consider all those other factors, you would more than likely, normally end up in the physical act.
Yeah, and I think that's the challenge of we're just not led by reason a lot. We're led by. We trying to get it, y'all. We just tell you what it is. Okay, so let's talk about spaces then, because you weren't enjoying yourself. You were understanding, hey, there's some consent that's not happening here. Maybe there's some aggression or disrespect. I don't feel so comfortable. Was that the ambition for you to start developing your own strategy, your own environment? Or did you find an environment and said, I need to model what I'm doing after this?
It was more so me just wanting to create this space.
Okay.
The comfortable space.
Okay.
I haven't been to any other space. Well, I have with now since I've had my business.
Of course.
I've been into some spaces that I've been like, wow, this is a great space. I love what they're providing. I love the space that they're creating. I like what they're doing, all those things. But there's also, from me creating it, I hadn't been in a space that's like that.
Okay.
I found my community by being who I am outwardly.
Okay. So what would you say your community is then? What would be and you could go broad or you can go more detailed. What would you say your community is then?
I would definitely say my community is the kink community.
Okay. And let's define, because again, we're gonna have some people who they've thought about or maybe even experienced these things, but didn't know how to label them. Men, we're just trying to chase a few things, these few experiences, not realizing there's a world that's out there available to you. So what would you define kink community, what you're putting together, what you've developed, what would you define it as?
I would define the kink community as a space where people are able to figure out what they are truly into.
Okay.
What things really make them tick, you know, what really turns them on, or what really stimulates, more so stimulates. I would say not turn you on, what really stimulates you.
And that's in a judgment-free zone also. Because
Always.
I think a lot of people go to like online communities and stuff because there's a level of anonymity. Y'all are in person.
Yeah.
So that changes because I know a lot of people sit around and watch certain things, consume certain media, but they would not
show it physically. Yeah.
So it's really interesting to hear you do it in a public display. How did you get to that space?
Well, it's more so I had to create a space for myself because when I started off with Cliterate, I have a full e-commerce sex store. So I started off doing pop-ups back in 2020. I wasn't fitting in anybody's space. Like I had toys, you know, and a lot of times these markets would want me there.
So like passion parties?
I do passion parties privately.
So that's what your e-commerce was, or
no? My e-commerce is a full-on sex store, like what cats and all them have. I have a full-on 15,000 plus.
Man, that's dope.
Store, right?
Okay.
So it's through me. I'm not through Bedroom Candy and Consulted or anything. It's actually Cliterate. It's all mine.
Okay.
So with me having the toys and stuff, people would be so uncomfortable, but they would always come back and sneak back around.
Oh, of course.
You know, and
they're not gonna do it in public.
Man, not in public, right? So we're at this market. So it started getting redundant, and it just wasn't a good feeling to not be accepted more so in a space just because of people being weird about it. You know, it wasn't more so like I didn't mind being there, but the way people were weird, I'm like, why would I sit here and put myself through this where I'm paying vendor fees? You know, I really wasn't really liking how all the markets were being ran by the people. I'm really particular about a lot of things, and I'm really detail oriented, and I'm really big on communication.
Yeah.
And so it was more so like, okay, I don't like the way this shit's being done, so I'm gonna just do it myself. So then I created my own space.
So from the toy market, did you see Black and brown people consuming it to where you could say, oh, no, we can do this in a real way as well? Because I think people hide behind e-commerce stores or looking at porn, looking at YouTube, you know, all the variety of areas, chat rooms, Reddit, you know, Twitter got the best.
Yeah,
I'm gonna leave that alone.
They're flagging stuff now, but
Twitter is crazy. You know, so I think a lot of people use that as a way to experience the community without
being actually in the community.
Yeah. So did you realize that, hey, Black and brown people might really actually participate if I set up the space the right way?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and honestly, I'll be more so honest. I wasn't really concentrated on one demographic. I'm concentrated on all.
Okay.
Because I feel like, you know, our Black and brown people for sure lack all said education, but so does everybody else.
True.
You know, it's not just us. So my thing was I wanted a space that's created for everyone.
Okay.
You know, so my space with Cliterate, it was always my goal to be every walk of life to be there.
And that's a great name, by the way.
Thank you.
It really is. Thank you. I wish I would have came up with that name. That is a great name. Because it works.
Yeah, yeah.
Like being literate.
Of the clitoris.
Of the clitoris. Yeah, like that is a great name, by the way.
Yeah.
Okay. So building the spaces, when did you have your first event? And when did you know, hey, this might be something?
Okay, so April 2021.
After COVID?
Yeah.
I
didn't start. Yeah, hell yeah. I didn't start doing events till after COVID. Like, so I started Cliterate in November 2020. So like while we were still locked down, I started Cliterate.
Okay.
Yeah. And
then you had an event after? Tell me nobody showed up.
No, we had people. It was a small hookah lounge.
Was they wearing hazmat suits?
They were masks.
Yeah, I was about to say, 'cause after
we all had masks.
We still didn't really know what was going on.
We still didn't know.
And you still wanted to have an event.
Yeah. So it was more so like a pop-up. So my events, when they first started out, it was like, of course I'm selling my toys, right? You know you're coming into a space that's gonna have these type of things.
Yeah.
Excuse me. But it was more so just a pop-up space, right? Because it was just me trying to see what I could do. I didn't know. I was like, I want to do this, but I don't know.
Yeah.
So I did it, and I was like, okay, this is cool. And then I was like, I'll probably wait on it a little bit. But then I had an old friend who we're no longer like connected anymore, but she had a space And she was like, hey, I have a space. I think you could utilize it for I think you should do an event. And I was like, oh no, let me think about it. And then she was like, man, just do it. And I was like, all right, fuck it. I'm gonna do it.
Okay.
So then came the Naughty List exchange, and I put my first real event together in 3 weeks.
Wow.
3 weeks I put that.
Wow.
Together. Right. I was astounded myself.
That's a lot.
Created the flyer, learned how to do Canva.
Okay.
Worked that, and I ended up, we had like 100 people show up, which is not bad for a first big event,
phenomenal.
right? That's not bad.
Yeah.
So after that, it was kind of like, okay, I think I can do this. And then so every other month, because I'm big on not oversaturating, those events were really started off as smoky flower events.
Gotcha.
Like I had over 50 plus vendors in there. I had a whole huge building full.
Okay.
And then I had like one little show. Like I had a pole, I had a silks aerialist one time, burlesque. You know, I had singular type of thing.
Yeah.
So it was like I was kind of warming people up to where I'm at.
What you wanted them. You wanted to put the medicine in the candy.
Yeah.
Okay.
So those Naughty List exchanges, those that I was doing where it was like that, I was coming in 400 plus people started coming in to my events.
Okay.
We were packing out the space. It was amazing, but the parking was horrible. So you know, Houston is horrible.
I already know. Yeah.
So then we kind of after that, it went on. I did that for about a year. And then I took a hiatus on it because I really didn't like the way it was flowing.
Okay.
I would feel like I was kind of getting away from what my original goal was, you know, because people love the pop-up so much. They're thinking that this is what it is. I'm like, no, I'm cultivating sexual intelligence. I'm not here for this pop-up bullshit. Like, cool, yeah, this is great because I want to promote all these businesses. However, I want to concentrate on what I'm trying to give the community.
Yeah.
So then I took a year hiatus, and in that time I started Healing Girl Season with my best friend.
Okay.
And it was a great time because it gave me time to really go into myself and really figure out who I am, and you know, on this journey that I've been on since I was separated about 5 or 7 years ago. We got separated. It was a journey that I had to go on myself. You know, of course, I want to teach sexual intelligence, but to be that, you have to be that for
no doubt. Yeah.
You know, and sexual intelligence is mental, emotional, physical, spiritual. It's all these factors. So with Healing Girl, it gave me this space to really hone in onto myself and work on myself and heal those things so that I could be a better person and better educator and better informant to the community in the best way possible.
Okay.
And what really wouldn't cause me to steer away from who I am truly.
Okay.
You know, and I want to, and what I do, my grandparents are my everything, and they're highly religious. So when they found out that I was doing this, my grandma was very big on doing it tastefully, Talisha. You know, I want you to show up. If you're going to do this, you got to do it right, you know? Yeah. So I had to dig into myself to really figure out my boundaries and what I wanted to do and how I wanted to show up for people, because I was overextending myself. I was tired, you know? I'm a single mom of 2.
Yeah.
My son is a teenager. My daughter is 7. You know, it's like, shit, life was life. And so I had to get myself together to come back and show up. And when I came back with the Naughty List Presents High Frequency.
And that's the events that you've been recently doing that got on my radar.
Yep. Okay, so I've been doing them over a year. Going on a year now. I've been back.
Now, those aren't vanilla events.
They're
not. Let's you cannot, because someone's going to watch this. I don't know why you're laughing. Someone's going to watch this. They're like, man, I'm going to High Frequency.
Yeah.
Can you give them I think they need an idea of what they're walking into.
Okay. Let me start off first by saying High Frequency is not a sex party. Okay. There is no sex happening at High Frequency. Okay. I just want to start off with that, because that's what everybody loves to assume.
Okay. You can give that disclaimer.
Yes.
But you also need to let them know that things could happen
after you leave.
Okay.
There's no sex allowed. I do not allow. My boundary is there is no sex allowed in my building.
Have you kicked people out before?
No. Everybody is very respectful. So people adhere to the rules. People are very respectful of my boundaries.
Okay. All right. So we got that out the way.
Yes.
So there's no
sex.
No sex
allowed at all.
I
will kick your ass out and you will not come back to my motherfucking spot. Okay.
Is there simulated sex?
In the performances and demonstrations.
Okay. Let's give people a taste of the performance.
Okay. So
flogging.
Yes.
Okay. I think that's the videos that I saw. Rope play.
Yes.
I think I saw some shibari.
Yes. A lot of shibari.
I think that was probably the most.
Even some self-suspension. I love rope.
I didn't see the self-suspension though.
Yeah, that was on the last one.
Okay, I missed it.
She'll be back though.
Okay,
she'll be back next Friday.
I've seen that. I've seen some BDSM.
Absolutely. I mean, but flogging is considered a piece of business.
But that's the light end of it. Y'all also got whips and chains.
No chain.
There was definitely a chain in one of the videos.
Oh, he had it around his
neck. You see what I'm saying? Why
for the dom session.
Why are you trying to play the people? I'm trying to give him real game.
Because I don't want to, because a lot of times people are so hesitant and scared to show up in this space.
Okay.
But I've not met one person who has regretted coming.
I'm not trying to. Yeah. I'm setting expectations.
I know, but I just got to tell y'all, like, don't be scared.
Because people are gonna, they're gonna see this.
Yeah.
And your next one's in April.
April 5th.
Yes. Someone from this audience is coming.
Yeah.
I can promise you that.
Yeah. Tell me, hey, if you come.
If not, I'm coming.
If you come from Poor Horsemen and you find me, I'll give you a freebie.
You don't have to give them nothing free. They just want to be in the building. They just need to know. That is grateful of you to say that. Yeah. But they just want to be in the building. Yeah. I'm telling you now.
Yeah.
They're going to want to be in the building.
Y'all going to want to be in the building for this one.
So is there a difference between couples and singles? Are they treated differently in this environment? Like price to get in or things like that?
It's per person.
Okay.
Per person.
Okay. And what can they expect then? We've given some examples. No sex allowed.
No sex allowed.
So what all can they expect at the
Okay. So we have some live performances, like I said. So we have the rope happening. So we have Shibari rope. We have a couple doing a Shibari rope and they're well versed.
So Shibari is your thing. Like in real life it's yours also.
Yes. Yeah.
Why you Look, I didn't mean to put her on the spot.
Yes. I am very interested. That's probably my top thing that I'm interested in. My top kink is learning rope.
Bondage with rope. Like everything tied. Or
it just depends on what you're doing in the session. Like, I mean, you can have your full body tied, but you could do just a chest harness which is actually going to be available to you. So besides actual live performances and demonstrations of rope, we have one of our vendors who are there and she actually practices rope herself. There's two vendors there that practice rope. So you'll actually be able to get a harness put on you if you'd like. So you can choose like you want chest harness, want your legs.
So people can learn how to do this there as well.
Well, she'll do it. Yeah, she'll actually be doing it on you. You can actually get it done. For a small fee, of course, you get the tip. So she offers that. Then we also have free STD and STI testing.
Man, that's great.
From our mobile clinic. So Be Busy is a nonprofit organization that cultivates sexual education. And they always come and offer free testing. You do not have to have any insurance. They have rapid testing and they have the 2 weeks for the HIV and the Hep C available. AVAL Texas is a nonprofit pro-abortion agency. I have a partnership with them. We give out free Plan Bs, so we have free Julies.
Man, people in Texas, you damn near got a felony if you try to get
So they did actually just pass a law where there's no age limit on Plan Bs now. So our 15-year-olds can get Plan B. So please, parents, please be educating your children. Okay?
But it's pretty crazy, because we are in Texas. And Texas has some of the most draconian laws when it comes to women reproductive rights. I think Alabama might be the worst. Because you can't even do IVF in Alabama.
Yeah, and that's crazy.
Like that has nothing to do with anything.
It has nothing to do with them. That's the crazy thing.
Yeah, but men, we tend to think we know what's best.
Yeah.
That's what we're good at. We are really good at placing our values on the rest of society. Not me per se. I'm just saying men in general.
The ones who are higher up doing what the fuck. What did Drake say? The ones that ain't getting none growing up, the ways the ones making the laws for our bodies.
Ain't that what happened? That's here nor there.
Wild.
Here nor there.
Absolutely wild. So besides that, About Texas, we have a partnership with them. So I always have free Julies to give away. I'm also sponsored by Slapwoods. So Slapwoods always gives me amazing goodies to give away as well. And then Clona Willy is a new partnership that I have with them. And so the past 2 high frequencies, they've given me some free Clona Willies and Clona Pussies.
Nice.
So you can actually make silicone replicas of your penis. And then for the Clona Pussy, it's of course the outside, the vulva. You can't do the inside because that's not safe.
Okay.
But they also have one that's a handheld where you can attach a pocket pussy basically to it.
Okay.
And so it's like you can clone her and you're actually doing it with her,
Man, y'all
truck drivers, ideal for truck drivers. Come on.
Nah, truck drivers live a wild life.
They do.
Them truck stops be wild.
Yeah, them what they call them?
Lot lizards, which is really a terrible name. We have to do better as a community. Why would we call anyone that?
I
Nah, that is a
They
terrible name.
sneaking and geeking around there. It makes sense.
Sneaking and geeking does not mean you're a lizard. Like, that's what I'm saying. Okay.
And they slide.
All right, a couple things. What made you really be passionate about the education piece of this? Obviously, it sounds like a vibe. It sounds like a good time. Yeah. Without saying it, we know what high frequency means.
Add the K in there.
Yeah, we know what it means. But what made you, get into this space? What made you passionate about educating people around this topic?
I think that my thing is I'm huge on knowledge.
Okay.
I'm huge on facts. And as I build friendships and relationships and knowing people and learning people, one thing that I realize is we lack the education in our sex education. Yeah. It's very, very, very lack. And so I feel like a lot of times that we do see educators, people aren't really listening to them because they might not like how they present themselves, or even when it comes down to physical, I feel like of course I'm an attractive woman, so I feel like I'm using my natural born gifts and talents to be able to build a platform for people to be able to really truly hone in on learning and loving themselves.
Yeah, it's easier for people to
receive.
Yeah, definitely. I would give you that. Yeah, I definitely give you that.
So, and I would see people on TikTok and these women, and of course they have all the knowledge, but they don't have the views and the interaction or the engagement because people are like, oh, I don't want to see them talking about it. And that's unfortunate.
It is.
Because,
it really is.
So it was more so I found this because I really enjoy helping people become a better version of themselves. Okay. The sexual intelligence is the main thing that I grasp, that I hone into because of that. And then, of course, as an attractive woman comes the stuff of people assuming that I'm doing this and doing all the things that are shown on my show.
Imagine, I could imagine any photo that you're in with people, if you're having conversations with people, they like, oh, that must be one of hers. Like, I could imagine for you it's probably challenging because people probably want to blur the lines with you. So I could see that being difficult for sure.
No, I never, even though my business is pleasure, I don't never mix business with pleasure.
It wouldn't make any sense. Yeah, I mean, if you want to cut your money off, that's how you do it. That's the fastest way.
Yeah,
that's the fastest way to cut your money off.
Yeah, I would say that would be that's probably the biggest challenge, is just the assumptions that people come with them. Like, oh, you're a freak, you do all this. Like, no, I promote all of this. I promote the education and the knowledge, and of course, I'm giving you the presentation to show you all things. Yeah. Doesn't mean that every single one of those things I'm into. You're just over here assuming and got this big, huge fantasy, or feel like you could say certain things to me, or like, well, what do you? The first thing that people talk, a guy meets me and they're, I'm trying to, what do you do? Or they get on my Instagram, they're like, oh, I see you have this. I'm interested in this.
What y'all need to do, fellas. Take her to the library, steal a couple books. Hold on, why are you laughing? I'm giving him some game. Listen.
Oh my God.
Go to the library, steal 2 books, 1 Harry Potter, and if she likes Harry Potter, she probably like Lord of the Rings too. So get both. Okay, not Lord of the Rings. Get what was the one where they Hunger Games? Get Hunger Games.
I'm more honestly like a Twilight kind of gal.
Oh, you vampires?
Yeah, I'm a Twilight gal.
Go get her.
New Moon.
Go steal 2 books, a Harry Potter. What's your favorite food?
Ooh, I love seafood.
Okay. Papa Do's is probably too. Okay, so give me a place. We give him some game right now. Wait, first, are you single? Because I'm being presumptive. I'm throwing you to the wolves. My bad. I'm being, that was really rude of me. You see I said men ruin things? Yeah. You see I ruin things? I'm being really rude.
It's okay.
I was trying to throw the layups because someone out there, she wants steal some books, seafood from wherever. Maybe take her to New Orleans. No, we definitely not doing that. So
take what oyster spot?
The Oyster Hut.
I'm not going there.
So take her to New Orleans. Okay. What's the rest of the play for them? Give people some game. They want to know. They want to know not to get in your DMs and be like, oh, you a high freak. Because I know that's what they're saying.
Yeah.
I know men.
Man, yeah. So. Yeah, definitely reading. I love outdoors. I love doing stuff outdoors. Okay. I took on the hobby of skating. Yes, I love that.
Okay, the beach.
I took on the hobby of skating, so I've been doing that for probably like a year now.
Okay.
Pretty decent now.
Like rollerblading? Or, okay, so you're really skating.
Yeah.
Like going to the skating rink.
I more so skate outside my gym.
So you doing like Usher, like at the Super Bowl.
I'm trying.
Man,
I'm trying.
Be careful. You know what I'm saying?
Man,
like,
when I tell you I bust my
that's what I'm saying. Be careful. I'm nervous now for you.
It'll humble you real quick.
I mean, you got to put on events.
Yeah.
Like you can't be walking around with a knee brace. Like that would be what if my sex educator
they go like, what the hell
came out with a knee brace and an elbow pad. Yo, this is about to be the wildest night that you would ever imagine.
I might need to put one on just for props.
Nah, yo, if you do that, I'm gonna be mad at you. I'll be like, yo, that was not what was supposed to happen. All right. So a few things before we wrap it up, because this is an education platform. Also, while we're having some fun, letting people know about what you're doing. Also, maybe encourage a younger woman, a younger man that may be confused about things that they're into or that they like, not understanding that there may be a space for them. What advice would you give that person?
Don't worry about what other people think about what you like. If it's something that you truly enjoy, you do it for you. You know, as long as it's not anything crazy where you're hurting somebody, of course, without consent or any sexual assault type of deals. Don't do that, right? That's something you should not be doing and should not be enjoying, especially for the safety of the other person and yourself. But I feel like what our young people should know is that we really have to learn what we enjoy. Yeah. You know, take the time to figure it out. I think a lot of people in this day and age, in this society and what social media presents, that you have to be a certain way and act a certain way and do certain things, and really understand that what truly makes you happy to your core is what you should do and what you should go by. Never allow someone to steer you off of what your journey is. There's always going to be someone out there that with your same like mind. It might not feel like it right now, but there's safe spaces that you can find, mostly anywhere. Houston's a huge city.
Yeah.
You know, and whatever city if you're watching it, you know, nationally, there's something going on in a resource that you can find. If you can't, and if you're ever looking or ever questioning anything or wanting to know more knowledge, my DMs are always open, respectfully, of course. Fucking respectfully, of course, because I will cuss you out, business or not. Okay, don't come at me sideways. I will nice nasty the hell out of you.
Why you get so aggressive?
I had to. Don't play.
Why do you get so aggressive?
Do you know? I wish you could see the DMs.
I do not believe that.
It's ridiculous.
We're respectful. What are you talking about?
I posted a video of me working out. This guy DM'd me and said, "I want to suck your pussy dry."
That is a lie.
And my phone was right here. I pull it up, but my phone's not here.
No one's that presumptuous.
They are. They are.
But what would be their benefit to do that?
I don't know.
Because I guarantee you, they don't have 10 women saying yes.
Exactly. I don't know.
So how many times do you?
I feel like people just lose their mind sometimes. I feel like people can honestly. The battle that I would say that I deal with the most, which sometimes has been very unsettling to me, is that people cannot sometimes keep their composure around me.
But okay, so I can see that, because there are things that, because men will create a scenario in their head that they assume how interaction is going to go, not realizing if they kind of just let shit happen, it could be better than what they even imagined.
Yeah.
So that's one thing. But two, the DM thing is weird, because even 2 weeks ago, we had some women in the studio that talked about men DMs, and that to me is weird to DM that way. It's cool to check the temperature, but that's not checking.
That's not checking the temperature. That's jumping in head fit.
Like,
face,
what is
feet.
that? Like, I couldn't imagine.
I just was like, what the fuck? Like, what in the world?
It works for someone though. That's why they do it.
It's gotta
Men
work.
only do things that work with
it don't work over here. So don't do that. Don't do that. But definitely stick to your intuition. Follow your intuition. Trust that always. And what you don't know, learn, find out. You know, don't look to your peers and your friends, and look for real education on the subject. You know, Google, it has literally everything you could possibly think of, you know, and all else fails, come to High Frequency. Yeah.
Okay. So tell people how they can get in touch with you.
Okay.
Where they can find you. And it sounds like in the DM, if y'all put like 2 book emojis, a beach emoji, a seafood emoji, you know, you might be cool, but go ahead. What would you say? What would you say?
I would say, wait,
Get in touch with you. Where?
Get in touch with me, yes. At Cliterate. So Cliterate is CLITERATE.
Yes.
That's how you spell Cliterate. I'll pop up. I'm kind of shadow banned because of my name, so you probably have to type in my full name to find me. My event, High Frequency, is on April 5th. It is masquerade themed.
Okay.
I had a masquerade theme a couple years ago, and people have been begging for it ever since. So we have masquerade theme. We'll have masks for sale. If you go on Cliterate, the link is in the bio. I'll send you the link as well because it's kind of long to just say.
We'll put it in the bio. We will. Yep.
Yeah, and then AOTAY is my personal, so it's at AYOO.TAYYY.
So I need to pull up April 5th in a Phantom of the Opera mask.
That's what you prefer.
That's what I think I'm going to wear.
And of course, dress code. I know people always ask dress code. As comfortably sexy as you'd like.
What does that mean, though?
It means as comfortably sexy as you'd like to be.
But what if someone just want to show up in a sweatsuit?
If you're comfortable in that, then that's what you wear.
But sexy though.
I mean, if it's per your discretion.
So someone could just wear drawers
if they'd like to, as long as they don't pull it out.
Man, I'm nasty. I'm pulling up Phantom of the Opera mask and drawers.
Okay.
That's most of the time when I'm wearing it here.
Hey, do your thing. Do your thing. Everybody's just gonna be like, I like your hat, I like your fit. Like, it's the most welcoming walk of like it's what's funny that everybody tells me, they're like, the people, the diversity that we see in this building is crazy.
I've seen some pictures and videos.
Everybody's there in what they feel comfortable in. This is a space where you can come in as your true self.
Of course.
You don't have to hide anything, from anybody. You can be yourself. You want to dress sexy as hell? I dress sexy as hell.
Okay.
This is like my costume party, every time
This is your chance to be free.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you at work.
Yeah, looking like
kids,
this. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I get it.
So it's like, I don't do too much, as a single woman being out here with this. It ain't a lot going on because dating out here is rough out here in these streets.
What?
Rough.
Well, I heard the DM, so clearly something is going on. Look. Grateful to have you.
Thank you.
Thank you for not allowing my 6 months of tardiness ruin this conversation. Y'all will see her again. I'm gonna set something up with the fellas too.
Yeah.
I got some ideas because I
got
think
some games we can play too.
Like what kind of games though?
Like education games.
How educated?
It's education games.
Nah, we're
gonna test y'all knowledge.
I know everything.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
That's
I'm a man. What are you talking about? That's what I'm supposed to. I'm supposed to say that as a man.
We do not have all the answers.
I have every answer.
Oh, Lord.
I'm just playing. I'm just
Lord help us. All right, on that note.
Nah, but again, I do appreciate it. Y'all go support Cliterate.
Yeah.
High Frequency with the K. Healing Girl season. Y'all go support. And then she also has the consulting practice that will support you all if you want to take your hustle to an actual business. I know y'all been out there trying to get business funding, without an LLC, never set up an address, no EIN, no DUNS number. Y'all out here struggling. You got someone who can help you out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And also, if you're a minority-owned business and you are interested in contracting, I can help you get certified through the City of Houston as well.
All right. So y'all got it here. You got a little bit of everything. So that has been the Horsemen Academy with Talisha, AOTAY, High Frequency, all the good things, Cliterate for April. And we'll be back soon. We out.